Hi guys and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I want to talk about fishing in Dragonflight because I think this is a profession that can actually be pretty interesting when it comes to gold making. The first thing you want to do when you arrive in the Dragon House is to directly learn fishing. You can do it. The trainer is just here. So really in the walking shores, just where you will arrive, the trainer will be there. Keep in mind, this is a sub-profession, so you will still be able to have two main professions and then learn fishing. So this is really something you can do on any of your characters. Normally, all the different items and activities I'm going to talk about in today's video are things you can do in the open waters. You don't need normally to find like specific school of fish or things like that in order to get these items. Also, in a recent video, Kraken Latte with another YouTuber basically discovered that using some of the new functionalities that Blizzard added into the game in patch 10.0, you are now able to fish without having to click on your bobbers. So I think this is something that is definitely good and that will help a lot of people not to lose a lot of their catch. I know it's very easy to get a little bit distracted, and at least like that, you will be able to actually just fish without having to each time go press on it and then that's it. So this is pretty easy in order to set up. All you want to do is go here in options and you want to click on enable interact key, and then you want to select one of the keys, and basically each time you fish you will simply have to click on the key and you will be able to directly loot everything. Also, I would encourage you to get auto loot because like that you really don't have anything to do. So definitely, I think this is a good improvement and it will make it way easier for you to fish. So with Dragonflight, we really are getting a lot of interesting items with fishing. First of all, and I don't know if this is something that will change or not when Dragonflight will launch, but as of right now in the beta, each time you fish, you will most likely get one of these gray items. What is really interesting is that most of these gray items can actually be sold at the vendor for quite a lot of gold. So for instance, here you have some of these weapons that can be sold almost for 40 golds. Even armor pieces, as you can see, can be sold for like on average 20 gold. So really, I think this is definitely going to be very interesting if it stays like that, because it means that each time you will be able to make quite a lot of raw gold just by fishing. Of course, next to that, you're going to get a lot of fish. So this is really something that, especially early in the expansion, will be pretty interesting, because with the region-wide auction house, a lot of people are going to buy all these different fish. And so in the first 3 days, definitely you can make quite a lot of gold just by selling all these different fish. You will also get some of the clams. And of course, you can then open the clams in order to get some of the meat and everything. So this is also a nice little addition and things you will be able to make extra gold with. Then we have some very interesting items. So the first item I want to talk about are going to be all the different Draconic recipe in a bottle. Basically, when you fish even in open waters, you will have a chance at getting one of these bottles. And when you open them, inside you will get some of the recipes or plans or techniques for all the different professions. What's very interesting to note is that you will be able to sell these different recipes and plans on the auction house. And also, most of them are unique and you will only be able to get them by opening these different bottles. So it means that for a lot of people who will, for instance, start all these different professions, they will need to get these recipes either by buying them to the auction house or by fishing and getting the different bottles. And as each time you can really get different type of techniques, plans, and everything, I'm sure that after a few try, they will probably give up and buy the different recipes directly through the auction house. One thing that is important to note is that while not all these different items might be super interesting, keep in mind that with the new profession system, people will be incentivized to get all the different items they can and to craft all of them, because like that they will get some first craft knowledge points and everything, which is going to be very important. So trust me, people will buy any new plants, recipes, and techniques they will find on the auction house, even if it's not something they will really use after that. But there are still some very cool like plants and recipes that you can get that can then actually reward you with really good items. So definitely I would say these Draconic recipe in a bottle are really gonna be interesting. And as of right now, you can really get quite a lot. I don't know if again the drop chance is going to change maybe a little bit with the launch of Dragonflight, but if it stays like that, you will definitely be able to get a lot of these different bottles and then to make a lot of gold selling all these different recipes. So another interesting categories of items you will get when fishing are the different Darkmoon cards. Basically, when you get these different cards, you can either directly sell them on the auction house or you can click on it and you will then get two of the different cards from all the different varieties, the different sets. So really, I think this is something that will definitely be worth quite a lot of gold, especially again in the first few days, because a lot of people will try to craft all these different decks and they will need a lot of these different cards. So this is something normally you can get just by fishing again in open waters. And I think definitely these cards are going to be very lucrative. So again, I don't know if the drop chance is going to remain the same. Right now, it was pretty easy to get quite a lot of them. And again, I think this is something you want to try and do in the first few days because this is really when all these different items are going to sell for a lot of gold. After that, the value is definitely going to decrease quite a lot. And unfortunately, you won't be able to make as much gold as you will at the beginning. But again, this is, I think, a really nice addition and something, again, that makes fishing in Dragonflight way more interesting. Finally, one other very interesting category of items are going to be all the different coin of the owls. So basically, when you will be fishing, you will receive one of these rusted coin of the owls. When you click on the quest, they will ask you to come here in the On-Iron Plains, and inside these caves, you will have to talk to the Great Swag. When you complete the quest, you will then be able to buy all these different containers from this guy. Basically, in order to buy, for instance, the blue one, you will need one of these like gold coin. Then you have the silver coin for the green bag, and then for the white bag, you have the white coin. What's interesting also is that you can buy some higher quality coins with some of the other coins, which is really good. So when you open these different containers, you will be able to get quite a lot of interesting items. For instance, here, as you can see, you will get some toys. You will get some of these like Darkmoon cards, a lot of different materials, and even sometimes some of these green BOEs. For the green one, you will also get interesting items. You will even be able to get some of the Draconic recipe in a bottle. And then for the white one, it's going to be just some very basic materials. But really, I think, as you can see, you will be able to get really a lot of good items early on in the expansions just by opening all these different containers. And again, as you can see, I really got a lot of them when fishing, and I only fished for like maybe 15 20 minutes, and I was able to get a lot of these different coins. So you will normally be able pretty easily to get a lot of these containers and then to sell all these different materials. So I think all these different additions really make fishing interesting. And I think, especially during the first few days, it will be a very good way to get your hands on all these different items and to then sell them on the auction house. So my recommendation really would be for you in the first few days to fish just a little bit here and there, try to get some of these bottles, some of the different Darkmoon cards and some of these coins, and then sell all these different items as soon as possible, because this is really when you will be able to make the most gold out of fishing. I think overall it's going to be remain pretty interesting throughout the expansion, especially if they add more like recipes, more things like that could really be interesting. And I'm pretty happy to see that Blizzard is trying to bring a little bit more interest in this sub-profession. So that's going to be pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I really hope you will be able to make some gold with fishing. Of course, keep in mind, all the different things I've done right now are only in the beta, so maybe some changes will happen when Dragonflight will officially launch. But if it stays like that, I think fishing is definitely going to be an interesting way to make some gold, and you should definitely be able to make quite a little bit of gold, especially early in the expansion. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos, and in the meantime, I wish you a very good start of the week. Bye!